All right, next problem up. So let's go ahead and just wrap our heads around what we've got going on. So when we read the question sentence, it says, hey, what is the height of the container? So this tells me what I'm looking for sure, right? This says immediately what's the height. But there is some more context that if we just take a moment to understand, this actually becomes a degree easier. So let's make it happen here. So we're looking for the height of the container, but what shape is this container and what other information do we have? We see that it says a cylindrical container has a radius of 5 and then a volume of 200 pi cubic inches. Oh, okay. All right. So everybody take a look. We have a cylinder, and with this cylinder, we're given the volume, and we also have the radius. My party people, I know it might be an obvious question, but is there a formula that connects a cylinder to its volume and its radius? There absolutely is. And the cool thing about it is that it also includes the height, which is exactly what we're looking for. That's the goal of this problem. So when we write the formula out, we have to make sure we write it correctly. The volume is equal to pi multiplied by our radius squared multiplied by our height. So now that we're here, my friends, the next move that we'll make is plugging in the numbers and values that we have. Because I notice that, hey, look, my volume, cubic inches, my radius, inches, my height, inches. So I don't need to convert anything, nothing needed there. We're good. So now I'm just going to plug everything in and solve. 200 pi for volume. My radius was 5 inches. So pi multiplied by 5 squared. And then we have the height that we're looking for. 5 squared, that's going to be 25. Write it down over here. 5 squared is 5 times 5. And that's going to be 25. So once we have that set in, we have 200 pi equals 25 times pi times h. Now that we're here, this is where things really are going to reveal themselves. Everyone, we can divide both sides by the 25 and by the pi. We can do it at the same time. I'll just go ahead and do it one step at a time. So I'll begin by dividing both sides by pi. And what you're going to notice is that it actually cancels out on both sides. So remember, everyone, when you divide a value by itself, so 5 divided by 5, that cancels. Pi divided by pi, that cancels. 200, or like 57 divided by 57, that cancels. So in this part here, when we divide the pi from both sides, it actually cancels out on both sides. Very convenient. One of the conveniences when you use pi instead of the approximation. So nonetheless, let's move it forward here. So we're here with 200 equals 25 times h. And this is the last bit. We divide both sides by what number, everybody, to get this done? Yeah, we're going to divide by 25. So once we do that, divide by 25 there and there. And so it cancels out on the right side. And then we ask ourselves, how many times does 25 go into 200? And if we use a little trial and error, you might find that 8 is the proper value. 25 multiplied by 8. 5 times 8 is 40. 2 times 8 is 16. Carry the 4 is 20, which makes it 200. So that is the right guess there. The height will be 8 inches. And that makes the correct answer here. Answer choice D, because if you forgot to square the radius, you would have divided by 5, not 25, and you would have gotten C, 40, which is incorrect. And then from there, if you perhaps would have done one thing or another a different way, you might have gotten one of the other answers that we see. But the correct answer truly is answer choice D, 8 inches. All right, next question up. So as always, we'll begin with that question sentence. So here it reads, what is their final elevation? So elevation pretty much just discusses a vertical distance. So we just want to know what distance we end up at, which is pretty straightforward. We just need to make sure we carefully go through this situation because we have the point at which we start at, then we have something that happens here, something that happens here, and then another thing that happens there. So we have 3 separate events that we really have to pay attention to. So just like every story, let's start from the beginning. And it says a mountain rescue team starts at 8,500 feet. So let's write that down. So I'm going to say that we start right over here, 8,500 feet. Then up next it says they descend at this rate for this amount of time. I don't care about these numbers. I really care about what this word right here means. Everyone, when we read the word descend, are we going to be adding or subtracting from that 8,500? Yeah, we're going to be subtracting because, again, when we are descending, we are going down. We are going down from where we are. So with that said, let's go ahead and highlight that. Descend at this rate for this time. So I'll just go ahead and say minus. And remember that every distance that we want to calculate can be calculated with rate times time. So with that, here we have 1,100 multiplied by 2. 1,100 being the rate and the 2 being the time. From there, we see that it says they climb at this rate for this time. Everyone, the word climb, what does that tell us to do? That's right. We'll go ahead and add, nice and easy. Remember, climbing means we're adding onto that distance. We're going up. And then descending or going down means that we'll be subtracting that distance. So here, climbing at 700 feet per hour for 3 hours, I will highlight that there in blue. Nice and easy, perfect. And then we'll add 700 multiplied by 3. Again, this is another distance, rate times time. And then lastly, everyone, when we see the final descension, so descending again at 900 feet, what do we do with that at the end? Yeah, that's going to line us up for subtraction. Again, the word descending or descend means we're going down, so we will subtract 900. And that's it. So now that we're here, all that's left to do is perform the calculation and then add everything up nice and simple. So here, we'll rewrite the 8,500, and then we have 1,100 times 2. 1,100 times 2 gives us 2,200. 700 times 3, that's going to be 2,100. And then we still have that 900 right there. So now that we're here, we'll finish things up by doing 8,500 minus 2,200. So that gives me right over here 6,300. Then we add the 2,100 minus the 900. So we add the 21. So that'll give us 8,400. And then we subtract the 900 at the end, and that leaves us with 7,500. And there we are. Our final elevation is going to be 7,500 or 7,500 feet. And that is answer choice A, my party people.